I've experienced homophobic and transphobic bullying. As queer people, we encounter, discrimination and disrespect at all points in our lives, whether it's, meeting new people or connecting with family. As political climates change, it's not something that I just experienced in high school, but it's something that I've grown up with, and it's something that's been ever changing. The world that we live in isn't perfect, and it's intersectional. It dives into racism or sexism or ableism. And through these intersections, we continue to face challenges. But these challenges lead to opportunities to educate one another, to change the way we treat each other, and to learn how to treat each other better. As someone who's experienced discrimination, I have definitely seen and access support. But I think the thing that's been the most empowering is actually finding ways to stand up for myself, whether it's challenging discrimination at a human rights level through the court system, or reporting it, or challenging those people who have caused me harm. I think a lot of people think that it gets better as you get older, but in my experience, it doesn't. In the United States, we've seen a rollback on to LGBTQI plus rights. And even here in Canada, we've seen provincial and territorial governments cut LGBTQ programs and resources from curriculum and ministries of education and health services. The battle and the discrimination that we face as a community is not something that goes away. It's something that's lifelong. And the battle for human rights requires a vigilance to always advocate, not just for ourselves, but for one another. I'm a nerd who works for the government of Canada. That's what I do. So I do research every day on human rights policy and the implementation of methods to create respect for First Nations communities that have been wrongfully amalgamated. On the side, though, I'm privileged to volunteer at the International Day of Pink. And each year, the Day of Pink runs about 500 free workshops for schools and communities. We run a national tour that brings stories about our culture, community, and history to regions across Canada. And we run Canada's largest day of action, where folks wear pink not just to stand up to homophobic or transphobic bullying, but to make the commitment that they themselves will challenge and improve the way we treat one another.
Resilience is our superpower.